Hmm? You never follow me on Facebook, bro?
I I never
You never follow me on Facebook, bro?
I never.
Like, are you really that pressed over a Facebook follow? Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alima and this is my review on Real Housewives of Potomac season 8 episode 4. Real Housewives of Potomac has absolutely no replay value. Like, they don't even have anyone that you love to hate. Like, they make no sense. It's hard to root for anybody because they're all losers. Before like all of the fall shows premiered, I spent some time rewatching all the seasons of Married to Medicine. And when I rewatched Married to Medicine, I didn't touch the fast forward button, not even one time. Like, every season was consistently good. Even if it was about your least favorite cast member, you were still, engaged and tuned in to what was going on the screen. Versus on Potomac, I can barely stand to watch through an episode the first time, let alone a second time. Like, it's just so exhausting, so triggering. Candace. I would love to go up for Candace, but Candace, girl, as good as you are with your words, you never stand on what you say. You always end up crawling back to Robyn, like, and Giselle, which I understand with them and the way they work on the show. You might be scared of getting iced out, but the way you go about it is like not a good look either. And it's not like you really need the money that much. I guess you needed to fund your musical career or lack thereof. No shade, no shade, because I actually really like Candace's singing voice. At the same time, it's like, girl, you don't need this. And then Wendy. Wendy, I would also love to go up for you, but baby, you always fall flat. And Wendy is like a prime example of just be yourself. Because, like, maybe if you were yourself the first season versus trying to have this air about yourself like you were above everybody else, maybe your personality would feel a bit more authentic right now. But it doesn't. It feels forced. It doesn't feel organic. It feels very over the top. It doesn't feel genuine. It just, I just don't feel it. Like, and then she's also another one. She just does stuff that does not make sense. Like, girl, like, why would you want to make amends with Mia? I mean, I guess, like, it's not good to, like, hold a grudge, but after you sat at that table and called her slow all those times, like, it just didn't make sense for you to be like, and I hate to agree with Robyn, but you were deflecting. And then not only that, another example of you falling flat like your ass on your first season. You, okay, it was wrong for Robyn to like exclude your kids last season. And I'm not mad at you for doing the same thing to her, but it just fell flat. Like, it just didn't land. Like,
I don't know what that with Mia.
yeah, like, I don't know what it is with you, but your reads, like, sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. I don't know. And then Robyn. Robyn is so exhausting, the way she diverts attention from her household, and she's like, she has the most common sense when it comes to everybody else, but when it comes to Juan, she's just a doofus. Like, girl, stand up. Giselle is just not, you don't even, she's not a good villain. Like, you don't even love to hate her. Like, the stuff that her and Robyn does not make any type of sense. Like, when they like someone, even when they're doing wrong, they still stand 10 toes down besides them in efforts to spite whoever they don't like. But it's just like, that's not what people like to see. People like to see accountability and not half-ass accountability like what you're trying to give to Robin this season. Like, I'm not buying it. And then Karen, like, okay, I think Karen is. I want to say Karen might be the easiest person to go up for, but then again, Karen, you're also full of it. Like, you just lie and you just tell stories. But I mean, I was about to say I could overlook it because you have like a lot of funny moments, but then it's like, no, I actually can't because it's like, I just wish somebody on this show would just stand on what on the BS they talk. Who else is there? Mia. I mean, I really don't mind Mia on the show. She's just delusional and a liar, but I mean, Robin and Giselle are on the show, so I guess she fits right in. But anyways, I guess my overall point on this show is it has absolutely no replay value, but I will continue to watch and complain because 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 I'm black. Anyways, so let's get into this episode. We open up with Ineka and her husband, and she's picking him up from the airport. And so Ineka and her husband are talking, and we find out that her husband and Eddie went to the same college, and they were both in the African student group or whatever. Okay, there's a big difference between knowing somebody and knowing of somebody and knowing who somebody is. Like, you knew who Eddie was. I don't know to what extent y'all relationship went to. It's not giving that it went that deep, but it's giving y'all were aware of who each other was. Now in present tense, like, you really can't expect, if y'all didn't keep in touch after college, I mean, you really can't expect for Eddie to be like, oh yeah, my guy. Because, like, are still, how many of us would go up to somebody or act like we knew somebody from high school that, like, we saw in passing or, like, had a class with one time? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that deep and you need to let it go. But NECA, you need to be a bit more like, it's not good for people to have stars in their eyes. Like, you're giving like you'll do anything to be on this show, and that's not good because that means you'd be willing to compromise yourself and others. And then on top of that, like, you're not coming off relatable or likable either. You're focusing too much on trying to prove that you're that girl and that you have this and that, but like, majority of the audience is regular people. So you'd be better off being a bit more humble, I would think. You know what I'm saying? And I would like to take a edge brush or a fine tooth comb and comb out those edges that you have plastered on your forehead. Like, can we fluff them out? I really hate that, that spritzed, solid, crunchy. Like, why are edges crunchy? You must sleep in that wig because it's not giving install, it's giving wig. So now we see Robin and Giselle having lunch, and we get another piss poor attempt at Giselle trying to hold Robin accountable. And there's nothing more exhausting than watching two people who are comfortable with being dishonest trying to have an honest conversation. Giselle's trying to tell Robin how Juan was yelling at her, and I believe it just based off of how Juan treats and talks to Robin. I doubt that he would have any more respect for anyone else. Maybe if he wanted to get in their pants, I don't know, but probably not then either. Um, so Robin is saying, I heard y'all talk, but I didn't hear what you said. If you didn't really hear what was said or what Giselle said or what Juan said specifically, how do you know if he was yelling or not? You know what I mean? It's like one minute you didn't really hear the conversation, and then in your confessionals you're saying Juan didn't say that. Juan said I didn't stick my. Why do you have this goofy voice also, Robyn? Like, why do you talk like that? Like, you sound like you should be on Sesame Street with Deborah. And the blue dresses, both Robyn and Giselle in these confessions, very fitting for their clown behavior because, like, the dresses are very hideous, very cheap looking, and then Robyn, that purple dress with those furry shoulders in your confessional looking like a Furby, baby, you need to go back to the drawing board if you can afford one. And then, Robyn, you proceed to tell Giselle about the conversation that you had with Aneka when she told you, she asked you not to repeat that conversation. But then, Aneka, I had reason to believe that you had that conversation with Robyn knowing she would take it back to Giselle, knowing Giselle would then, spread it throughout the rest of the group. Like, girl, you're very predictable. And then Robyn and Giselle have the goal and the audacity to try and insinuate that their lives are absolute trash because Wendy's mom has been praying against them. I'm sorry, have you all not been going through hell long before Wendy even got here? Like, Juan's been treating you like trash. I mean, Giselle, you and Jamal's treacherous history is decades, decades, decades long. So it's like the fact that you would try to sit here and act like your life is in shambles because of Wendy. Okay, girl. Your life has been in shambles. Your fashion's been in shambles. Your hair's been in shambles. Your love life's been in shambles. The relationship with your kids been in shambles. I mean, you're just in shambles, Giselle. So now we get to see Candace at her house with her mom. So Candace and her mom are talking, and she can't help but to shade Chris. And she's like, so what's Chris doing? In other words, does Chris have a job? Is Chris bringing in money? Is Chris clocking in? Is Chris contributing to the household? So we get to the pickleball match with Kern and Ray. The exercise set was maybe like one size larger so that she didn't have to keep adjusting herself and her midsection wouldn't keep spilling out the sides. But other than that, like, Karen looks good to be the oldest woman on the show. Yeah, Karen looks really good. What was Robyn wearing? Like, and honey, Juan still don't want none. Like, where was she going with that? And then, like, I know it was supposed to give sexy because it's supposed to give an illusion that you have on panties, but like the panty part was like giving depends. It was giving like granny panties, period panties, Walmart panties, day of the week panties type of tease. You know what I mean? So, and Juan don't love you because if he loved you, he would have told you that you looked a fool before you left the house because he's not scared to tell you that you looked a fool any other time, like when you was depressed and walking around the house funky. He had no problem telling you the truth about yourself then. So I'm really curious as to why he let you leave the house like that. Wendy and Eddie. Wendy and Eddie are the flyest couple on Bravo TV. Wendy in her little Gucci fanny pack and those Gucci socks and her little Gucci sneakers. And then Eddie was complimenting her with like the pink. Come on, salmon. Mia looked really, really cute too. I really liked her skirt. Were all those pickles necessary though? That pickle display, like, okay, we get it. Y'all are here to play pickleball, like, but I know all of that stuff went to waste. I just feel like that was just really unnecessary. Neka, since you have your degree and you know every fucking thing,
since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
I really wish that, they would teach common sense and critical thinking because I need you to dig deep and realize the fact that you are nothing more than a pawn and a vessel to spite Wendy. And the fact that you're going along with this voodoo storyline is like Africa and black people in general have enough story times. Like it's already enough that the world thinks that Africa is like poor and underdeveloped still in 2023. But anyways, but like the whole voodoo thing is just like, girl, like you're being very ignorant. And then I can tell that you're a pick me by the way that whenever Wendy tried to help them pronounce your name, you were like, no, it's okay, it's okay. We have to make it easy for them. Girl, what? No, we do not have to make it easy for them. Like, that gave me very pick me vibes. Like, you're willing to assimilate. Like, you're willing to lay down and be the doormat. So, I guess this role is actually fitting for you. But, anyways, you are very hostile. And I know we don't like to use, those buzzwords towards black women, but baby bitch, why did you have to say bitch? Like, where did bitch come from? Like, nobody was calling any names, and you just went right out the window and said bitch, and I'm just like, girl, like, it's not that serious. It's like you were itching for that bitch. Like, you were waiting to throw out that bitch. You know what I mean? Like, that was just like a dry ass bitch too. Like, it had no it had it wasn't substantial in the argument. Like, it had no merit. You know what I mean? I'm probably not even using the right words, but baby, you also fell flat, like your face, flat face. um and then Wendy, when you got up and you started twirling around, like, it just, again, like, I don't believe it. You know what I mean? It's not believable. And your little read about God, took his time on you and clocked out for lunch on Aneka, that was cute. You know what I mean? That was cute. But then, like, the little extra, you lost me when you started doing like the extra mannerisms. Like, it was giving performance. It wasn't giving like that is probably how, maybe you are just an extra person. But then again, like I said, if you were extra in the beginning when you first got here, I would, you were extra in the beginning, but in a different type of way, in a snooty, uppity, better than type of way. Now you're trying to be a more around the way girl type of extra. And it's not translating, girl. Like, you're losing me. And then you done made me had to agree with Robyn. How dare you? Like, how dare you let Robyn of all people have a valid argument about you deflecting? Like, Robyn of all people talking about deflection? Deflection. Last season, your whole existence on the show was a deflection. You know what I mean? Your whole purpose on the show last season was to deflect from what you had going on. Did y'all see Mia's face whenever Wendy was like, who I do need to talk to? Like, Wendy, anyways, I could identify with the look on Mia's face because, girl, okay. I guess Juan throws a ball and knocks all the food over. And it was funny how oh, Karen was like, Juan, woman to woman, you got a problem with me.
To me, woman to woman, you got a problem with me? Hey.
And then she went over there and she was like, oh, Karen was like scared to hug Juan. And he was like, bring it in, bring it in. Like, and then she dapped him up and Juan still was like, bring it in. Like, that made me believe. That made me believe Karen's story about him hugging her a little too tight last season. But that was just really funny that she was hesitant to hug him, and then Why was Ray acting clueless like he wasn't standing there the whole time?
Nice shot.
Who started fire?
Juan knocked the food over and started a fire.
Did he really?
What happened? Juan hit the ball. He did. Like, is Ray okay? I'm pretty sure he isn't. But we're here anyway. Amen. Praise God. By this time, everyone gathers around and Eddie, okay, the way Eddie was yelling Juan's name, first of all, I didn't understand why he was yelling out Juan's name when he was supposed to be confronting Ike. And then number two, the way he was walking over there as if he was about to stand on business, he stood on absolutely nothing. Wendy stood on more business than he did. And it was just like, as much as NECA and her man are annoying, I'm sorry, but that man made you look like, like meow. He made you look like, you know what I mean? I'm sorry, Eddie. And then that pitiful look of confusion you had on your face, like I really, really hate like when I'm confronting somebody about something and they're acting like I'm speaking gibberish or they're acting like they all of a sudden don't remember. And then he was like, when did I follow you on Facebook? No, it's not when did you follow him on Facebook. What we're talking about is the fact that you unfollowed him, and I wish like you would just say that you unfollowed him, because there honestly wouldn't be anything wrong with that considering the conversation that you and Wendy had last episode. Like I could understand you unfollowing him, but you not standing down on it just made you look like y'all had something to hide or like there was more to it. And it's just like it's not helping. And then the fact that even Giselle could say, "Ooh, Eddie don't want that smoke." It really did look like you didn't want that smoke. And then here go Wendy being still being extra. And then she was like, they done got Eddie activated. Go ahead, baby. Like they got him activated to do what? Put in a Jerry curl? Like I'm not understanding. Like he was not active. He couldn't be activated if he was a relaxer. Like I'm sorry, that whole scene was just like that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing for both couples. Like they really got y'all showing y'all ass on this show over Voodoo and Facebook. But anyways, y'all, this review may not have been as enthusiastic and high energy as I wanted it to be because I spent maybe about 5 hours filming for my Medicine Wise review, and I had to literally do that 4 times over, all because of audio and storage issues. So, yeah, I am exhausted, I'm sleepy, and I still have to edit and make thumbnails. So, thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me what you think, and see you next time. Bye.